Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's gonna be a good show today, nice and exciting show. Andy, how are you today?
I'm amazing today.
Yeah, you look amazing today.
I'm just looking sexy.
Full
Sexy all
of
over.
excitement.
Exactly. Got a new haircut, everything. I'm all good.
All right, all ready to go. This episode we have the CW seasons today, right?
Yep.
So everyone join us on this journey as we become Legend of the Nerds. With this topic, our favorite topic, right? You like this topic.
Well, the CW.
You picked this topic. It's
I did.
the CW stuff.
The CW and the DC live action TV shows are generating so much popularity lately. I really don't see them ever ending. I mean, look at Smallville years ago, lasted 10 seasons.
10 seasons.
That's
10 strong seasons.
Yeah, 10 years. That says a lot for a television show nowadays.
It really does.
And we have Arrow going on season 5, Flash season 3,
Yep.
and then Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow season 2. So
We'll get those soon, but right now we got the checklist to go over. I haven't done the checklist in a couple of weeks, so we have a lot of news now. So it is a little older now. We may know already about it, but some of it's kind of new. So are we ready to jump into it today?
let's jump into it.
First topic is something you brought to my attention, and I wanted to do a little more digging in this topic. It's about the Thor 3 movie,
Oh, yes.
Ragnarok. You mentioned you read an article about Jeff Goldblum being in the movie. This is kind of recent because they have finally released some of the cast for this movie. You mentioned Jeff Goldblum and Carl Urban.
Yes.
Jeff Goldblum is going to play the Grandmaster, excuse me. So pretty much, do you know what the Grandmaster is?
I'm not sure on the Grandmaster now.
Not sure. Okay, so he is actually a game master, and he has the ability to will the death and the resurrection of others.
Isn't he the character from that app game, the Marvel Battle game?
Yes.
Because I think it's the Grandmaster who's
Yes,
talking
that's-
in the trailer and stuff like that for the game.
Yes, that's exactly who that is. So you can imagine with that kind of power, putting this character in here, what would happen to Ragnarok already. Because obviously Thor's in the movie. Congratulations. Loki.
I'd hope he'd be in his own movie.
Loki is actually making an appearance in the movie too. So I mean, especially not knowing what happened to him after the second Thor movie.
Well, we know what happened to Loki.
Because we know that he got the throne.
Yes, because he transformed
There is
into
a lot
Odin.
of movies between that movie and this movie. So we really don't know what happened to him and what happened to Odin. So
All I know is I've seen like some of the cast, and it says Loki and Odin. So I think they're going to be coming. He's going to be transforming back and forth.
I hope so. Then also, Carl Urban. I love this guy. You love this guy?
I do and I don't. Like in Star Trek, okay, it's kind of funny, but I when I see him, I think of Doom. I think of that or Dread. Those two action kind of packed movies.
Okay.
And then you get like Star Trek where he's just kind of trying to pull off comedy, but I don't think he can.
I take Carl Urban way back to the late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
When he played in Xena the Warrior Princess. He did a couple different parts in that. He was casted for Cupid, and he was also cast as to play Caesar.
I could see him playing Caesar.
You know, so he did both parts really good.
Yeah.
So this guy is so talented, and plus, on top of that, the movies that you mentioned him in it, the guy's great. And you asked what he was going to be in the movie, right?
Yes.
He's playing Scourge, a.k.a. the Executioner. Now, remember the Executioner?
Oh, you're gonna have to.
He's the guy that walks around with a giant battle axe that protects the Enchantress.
Okay.
Now here's what's weird. The Enchantress is actually not in the movie. At least her character has not been introduced yet. So either she is going to be in the final credit scene, or they're going to introduce her at the very end of the movie, about to come out. But I mean, with him being in it, she can't be too far behind.
Exactly. And I mean, not all the cast has been really. I mean,
No.
this is the first time we're hearing.
Those are two big ones.
Yeah, I mean, we're just hearing about these two big names, so her name could pop up sooner than later.
It could pop up. And another one popped up too is Kate Blanchett. She's going to be playing Hela, which is the goddess of death.
Okay.
So I mean, like, I'm not sure if you've seen any of the cartoons with when Thor goes down to Hell. He fights as a Medusa girl, fucking Hela, you know. So with her being in it, and then with Grandmaster being in it, who knows where this movie could take us?
Yeah.
But we do know it's supposed to be something to do with Thor versus Hulk on Planet Hulk, and Loki mixed into it. It's gonna be a crazy movie.
Yeah, the Planet Hulk thing is what I'm most excited for. I was a little shocked, though, hearing Jeff Goldblum playing a big part in the Marvel Universe. So it kind of shocked me. It didn't seem like that is something he'd want to be associated with, I'd say, or just thinking he'd be a part of it.
I think he would. I mean, think about it. He's been off the grid for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But now with Independence Day 2 coming out, and now Marvel movies coming huge hit now, why wouldn't you want to get a taste of it?
It's just...
The guy's a phenomenal actor.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. It's just... It shocked me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just, Jeff Goldblum, out of the blue kind of thing. So...
Right. But, those two going there, then Kate Blanchett next into it. Thor 3 is looking like a great movie so far. I cannot wait to see more.
And let's not forget, we might see another Infinity Stone.
More than likely, probably will, yeah.
My thought is, it's either we have two Infinity Stones to go. I think it's either going to be we're going to see one in Thor and Guardians, or if it's not in one of those, maybe my thought was also coming up in November with Doctor Strange.
You're going to see the Time Stone in Guardians of the Galaxy. Then you're going to see the last stone
Which
in
is the Soul Stone.
Soul Stone in Doctor Strange. I'm not sure if you're going to see one in Thor 3 or not. I hardly doubt it. Because he had one in the second movie.
Well, to see where it makes it, where I think it's a long shot, though, in Doctor Strange is because all the stones have been in those main movies. Like the...
So keep in mind, though, Strange holds onto the stones in the comics. He kind of protects them, too. So he plays a huge part with the Infinity Stones.
Okay.
The whole storyline.
We'll just have to see in November.
Him being the Soul Stone, I see that totally happening.
Yep.
Absolutely happening. Let's move on from Thor to... I have a couple of video games to introduce.
Yes.
One of them, huge trailer, came out. Huge boom. And I can't wait to play it. And it's Injustice 2. Not sure if you guys played the first Injustice. It was an amazing fighting game. And what I liked about it was the storyline. The storyline is pretty much... Superman kills the Joker because the Joker took out Lois Lane, and then Superman goes crazy. He goes bat crazy and just becomes supervillain. So that's the storyline on the first game. I'm hoping we see a pretty cool storyline on the second game. What do you see happening for the storyline?
I'm not really quite sure where they're going to go from there, because to me it was kind of a out of the blue type of storyline compared to maybe some of the comics.
Let's break down the trailer. Let's break down what we saw in the trailer. How well do you remember the trailer now?
All I remember is it's some of the new characters they're adding in. You've got Supergirl, which is, of course, they're going to do that with the popularity of the show. And then you had Red Lantern. And there was one more I just can't remember. But
I don't remember the Red Lantern one now.
Yeah, Red Lantern's in there.
Supergirl's the biggest one I saw in there. So pretty much the trailer broke down as... First off, it's Superman fighting the Flash, then the Flash taking out Superman, then Batman taking out the Flash, and then Aquaman taking out Batman, and then Supergirl blasting Aquaman.
See, this is why I watched a different trailer than
Okay.
what you're showing. The trailer I watched is basically just gameplay instead of the storyline kind of thing. That's where they were showing some of the new characters.
So you saw clips of the game. You didn't actually see a trailer. You saw clips of the game.
No, it was another trailer. It's not showing the storyline part. It's just showing the battle play. So like if you're playing with a controller,
Yeah, that's a clip for the game. It's not an actual trailer. It's a clip for the game, which is even better sometimes than the actual trailer.
'Cause that's where
because you can see more things.
yeah, because that's where they showed a lot of the new characters and a lot of the new special abilities that each character has. One of them's facing Aquaman, for instance, and when you do your special move and usually something happens, he throws you up above the water, and a shark jumps out and grabs you.
Okay.
It was pretty neat. So.
Yeah. But the biggest attraction to this game for me was the Iron Man type armor that these guys all get.
Mm-hmm.
That was going to be very interesting play to this game. Because I'm not sure if it's just a special ability that they get, or if it's just, I'm not sure what it's going to be.
Well, the thing with the game that excites me though is I grew up playing a lot of like the Mortal Kombat kind of things.
Yep.
And that's what this game is. It's the one-on-one.
Essentially, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
But with Injustice, what they did was they played out kind of like a mini movie or mini series kind of.
And that's what makes this game separate itself from the Mortal Kombat and from the Street Fighters, is that it has a great comic book storyline to it, and that's what makes it better. So I don't know what the next storyline is going to be. More than likely, it's going to bring in the multiverse again. You know, maybe Superman from Earth 2 comes back to Earth 1. Something like that. I bet you that's what it's going to be. But for the reasons we don't know yet, we got to see more trailers.
Well, we'll probably see some more coming up because in a couple weeks we have E3.
E3.
So we'll probably see a lot more in the weeks to come.
Have you done anything about E3 yet?
Not yet. They like to keep everything on the down low until like the actual day.
I know Nintendo has got some big stuff planned. Because they have that new system coming out, the NX.
Yep.
And I'm not sure how I feel about that because I enjoy my Wii U so much. So I'm really hoping that the NX will be backwards compatible, you know? Where I put my Wii U games on that system. I hope.
Yeah. All I know is I've seen a couple trailers that'll be played at E3 too, so we'll probably see a little bit more. Like me being the huge Kingdom Hearts fan I am, they came out with Kingdom Hearts 2.8. So it's like I want 3 to come out really bad, and they
2.8 though. That's
they keep doing it. There's like a 2.5 and then a 2.7. It's because they're trying to stretch it out. It's like they're making you anticipate and wait.
Do you
and
play
wait
the
for
same
3.
characters?
Yeah, it's just more.
So it's not like
it's more backstories and more extended stories. So.
Oh.
So yeah, so like you have, well, instead of just doing a 1, 2, and 3, you have what would happen in between 2 and 3. So.
That seems silly.
It's a way to make more money.
Seems
the
silly.
more games you put out, the more money you're gonna make.
You know what else seems silly? This next game seems silly. It's called The Mighty Nine. It is released on all the systems. You play a robot named Beck, and he's the 9th in line of these powerful robots. But the other 8 got infected with a virus and become evil. So Beck is there to stop the other 8 robots. This reminds you of a game,
Not off the top of my head.
but Mega Man, because that's like the exact storyline.
It's been a while since I've played Mega Man, so.
Dr. Wily takes over the other robots from Dr. Light and then turn them evil. Mega Man's got to stop them and take their powers. So, I don't know much about this game. That's all I really know. It just seems really silly. But, I mean, I'm not sure. Any other games you're looking forward to? I know not much of a game these days.
No, that's my problem. I've got to hook the systems back up and.
Jump back into it.
Yeah, it's just between doing things in the day, then you forget. Oh, I want to play this. It's hard to find the time.
Yeah, games are fun. I'm starting to get back into them. I'm playing, Batman Arkham Knights right now.
Yep.
I'm thinking about getting the game right before that too. Yeah, those Batman games are real fun.
Exactly. I have them. I've played them. They're great.
Yeah. Let's move on to some comic books. Some actual comic book talk right now. Joining the DC universe. A while ago, they came out with the new 52. They take 52 characters and they rebirth them, and then new storylines. I've read, The Flash. I got right here, new 52. At home, I'm reading the Nightwing stuff, and of course, Batman.
Yep.
Bunch of them. They have So many Superman reboots. They have that. Now they're coming out with a new one. Because 52's over, they have a new comic series coming out called Rebirth. And one of the first ones they come out with is the Titan Rebirth. So Teen Titans, but the Titan Rebirth. And this is going to be, Robin, which is really just Damian, you know. They have Starfire, Beast Boy, Raven, and they added Kid Flash to this lineup. So I'm guessing what they're doing with Cyborg is making him the adult and joining Justice League.
Yeah, it sounds like, because you and I just watched Teen Titans versus the Justice League.
Yep.
That's kind of almost where it sounds like it's going towards.
Yeah. Minus Kid Flash.
Yeah.
Minus Kid Flash. But I'm actually glad they're adding more Kid Flash in here, though. Wally West really needs more attention.
Yes.
It really does. But, they have that coming out. I think they're Superman, came out with Superman. And a Batman, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the 3 titles they're kicking off the Rebirth with. You would think? You gonna get any of these? Try them out?
That's my problem. I love the storylines and stuff like that. I just never got into reading the comics. That's my problem.
I can just read a graphic novel from start to finish in one sitting.
Like, I do my research. I try to do my research on characters and stuff like that just to get a glimpse. But just...
You can never really know what they are until you read the book, though, you know?
Yeah.
That's how you really understand these characters, by actually reading the books. Next up, I got a cool topic here. Box office numbers. This is really cool. Start off with 2 new movies just hit theaters. Warcraft and The Conjuring 2. Out of these 2 movies, Andy, which ones do you think beat in the box office?
Well, you would think Warcraft beat Conjuring, but it sounds like to me you're giving me a trick question, so let's go with The Conjuring 2.
I'm not giving you a trick question.
know.
I'm simply asking you, out of the 2 movies that open up the same weekend, Warcraft or Conjuring 2,
Warcraft.
which one do you think would win?
Warcraft should win, and let's go with Warcraft then.
You go with Warcraft?
Sure.
All right, Warcraft made $24.4 million over the weekend. Conjuring made $40.4 million over the weekend.
It's a shocker.
It is and it isn't. Warcraft is one of those PC games where it's got a huge fan base. It really does. In certain spots. For me, I never played the game. I'm not sure if you ever played the game in school or not.
I refuse to go out and buy a video game and then have to pay a monthly fee to play the game.
Yeah. And I remember back in the day, all the Warcraft commercials coming out. Like Mr. T had a commercial come out. We had the Mohawk Bomb. Ozzy Osbourne had one coming out. All their upsell Warcraft stuff. I'm not sure what the storyline is in Warcraft at all. So, I mean, at 2.4 million, that's all the Warcraft fans. That's what that is. Really. Because, we know nothing about the game. At all. So, they really can't have a movie like this without doing any sort of advertising or anything. It's like, hey, let's make a movie. Because, Lord of the Rings made such a big killing, Yeah. And expect to do any bit of good business out there. I mean, how many trailers did you see for this movie?
Probably 3 different ones.
How many trailers did you see for any Marvel movie? Tons.
More than I
Because they're trying to bring in people who are not comic book readers into watching the Marvel movies by advertising and putting it everywhere. Warcraft, what do you think the storyline is?
Well, I know what the storyline is because I've read, not the plot, but the...
Let's just say you didn't spoil it for yourself. What would the storyline be? Who are the villains? Who are the characters in it? Do you know?
Well, I know the orgs are the villains.
Orgs?
Orgs.
Okay.
If I just watch the trailer, from what I've seen, one org tries to get an alliance with
one
humans.
org tries to rule them all?
No, one org tries to get an alliance to stop a war.
Just to stop a war. So,
yeah.
It's about a rogue org?
Yeah.
Really?
That's what I got. If I hadn't read.
That sounds awesome. Conjuring 2? Second one coming out. I never saw the first one. It's a horror movie. These are all horror movie buffs, So that's why I think that did better. Honestly. You have any guessing why the one did way better than the other one?
Well, I know The Conjuring is a. If you want your spine to jump out of your back,
That's the movie, right?
yeah, I mean, the second one just looks like more skin crawling than the first. I can tell you that. And I've seen multiple trailers of this, and don't watch it in the dark.
I mean, honestly, if the Warcraft one do better, they should have waited till July. Open up with in the midst of summer, so more people can focus on it and do way more advertising. I think, so I think it'd be better for them. Next up, let's talk about Disney movies. This was fascinating. The Jungle Book passed 90 million worldwide. That's incredible for a live-action movie. Came from a cartoon, So I just wanted to point that out. This is why I love Disney so much,
Old school Disney, better than anything.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't imagine how much Beauty and the Beast is gonna do.
Oh god, that's going to be the biggest out of all of them.
I think so, because if you look at the numbers for Alice in Wonderland, the first one they came out with, that was over $1 billion. So I mean, they did great there. I want to put these movies out because and honestly, they kill overseas too, big time. The numbers overseas are bigger than domestic numbers.
The best thing about the quick trailer for Beauty and the Beast is it's the exact same, as the animation trailer. Belle comes walking in. Hello, no one's there. You hear Clockworth and Lumiere talking in the background as she's walking because you see they're like shadows.
Oh yeah.
She walks up to the rose, grabs the rose. Done.
Yeah. So I mean, these movies are just gonna be phenomenal numbers. I hope they release it on a good time too. I have a few more things I want to talk to you right now, but let's jump into the actual main topic. If we have time to end the show, I'll go with the last topics. How's that sound? All right. First up on our list is Legends of Tomorrow.
Great.
Legends.
Wasn't as long as a season as most of the others. I think it was only like 16, 17, 18 episodes. But it was fine. Even though it wasn't as long, this show sucked me in so much.
Okay.
There was just so much going on. It was amazing. And I kept telling myself, where are they going to go after trying to kill Vandal Savage?
All right.
I mean, that's, to me, seems like your main villain. So what, is it only going to be like a mini-series kind of thing? But how they end it sets right up for season 2.
Remember, guys, this is a spoiler episode on these, so if you've not seen them yet.
If you haven't seen...
Probably shut it off.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but if you are watching these shows like we are, kind of...
Yeah.
These shows ended about a month ago, so you should have seen the season finale by now. So...
Well, let's go over where the show is going to go, okay? Let's talk about Captain Cole first. All right. Was it a huge mistake?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah, there's so many ways they could have changed it up, and it still would have made sense, because they've shown that they have a regeneration machine. Because you have a hand that has to stay in this machine 2 episodes before the finale.
Yep.
To have their plan succeed. I'm sorry, freeze your hand there or freeze something. I think it still would have worked. If he had frozen his hand, I think the weight of the ice would have still been good enough. Chop his hand off.
Maybe.
Something like that. Yes, it was a problem because Captain Cole, to me, was a big-time character in the series. And where's that go now for Flash, too? Because your main thing was you hated that they brought villains and changed them to good guys in this.
Yeah.
And Captain Cold's a big-name villain for Flash.
Let's correct this. When I first started watching the show, I had a problem with it. As the storyline progressed, and I watched these 2 guys go through it, I enjoy it way more. I love Captain Cold in this show right now.
Yeah.
And killing him off was a huge mistake, I think.
Yeah.
But let's think why they did it. Let's think why. You have Captain Cold played by Wentworth Miller. Okay? A new show is coming back on Fox. Prison Break. So Wentworth Miller and Dominic Purcell, the guy who plays Rory, are both leads in Prison Break. So maybe some reason they're not taking Prison Break to a miniseries, but are going to actually relaunch the entire show again.
But then why?
So now you have 2 guys on 2 major shows right now. How are they going to
Well, then how come
counteract?
Mick Rory didn't die either?
I really don't know. I mean, because think about how the show ended too.
I personally think we say it's a bad idea, but look, Legends of Tomorrow is all about time travel. There may be some way he comes back somehow.
Do you think they made a mistake with the whole time travel stuff?
No.
Being on Legends of Tomorrow and being in the Flash.
No.
Because I don't think about this though. The Flash went back in time. Mm-hmm. And he brought back an image of himself, right? And that one died, right?
Yes.
What would happen if you go back to 1956 and killed Vandal Savage back then? Wouldn't he automatically die in his future ones? That's a huge.
Yes,
that was one of the biggest problems I had with the conclusion of Legends of Tomorrow, was that the timeline, and they broke a lot of time traveling rules. Because technically, yeah, they're all the same Vandal Savage in their timelines. You killed 1956. The other two shouldn't succeed to exist at all. Unless those Vandal Savages are from Earth 2 and 3.
They're not, because I think they would have explained it. It's one of those things. It's a hard thing to talk about. That's the problem. I don't mind the whole time traveling thing, even though Barry does it. But the problem is Flash doesn't do it enough.
I just don't want them to continue breaking time traveling rules here. You know.
Well, I want to say
you're a time traveling show, so you should have all the rules down. And
I want to say there was probably an episode where they explained why can't we just kill Vandal back in like 1700 BC when he was an Egyptian person.
Right.
And I want to say they explained why he won't die. I just can't remember.
You think they explained it in earlier episodes?
I think they did, because I thought someone brought it up.
Okay.
So
they might have. I don't know. Let's talk about the conclusion of the show, where a new character gets introduced.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if this character is going to be a long-serving character for season 2, or just show up here and there. But I'm talking about Rex Tyler.
Yes.
Also known as Our Man. You asked me about Our Man more.
Mm-hmm.
I did some research for you. He takes a drug called Merloclo. It's a pill.
Okay.
And it gives him superhuman strength, speed, stamina, night vision, and the ability to survive underwater.
Okay.
For only 1 hour. That's why he's the Our Man. He works for the Justice Society of America.
Yes. Which I got really excited about this.
Here's why I get excited and confused. Who sent Rex back to that one spot?
Well, according to him, he says that Rip and his group sent him.
Rory sent him.
Yes, Rory did.
He was the only one that sent him.
I thought he said you guys did.
No. Rory was the only person that told him to come back to this time.
Okay.
So that is just... That was the phenomenal part for me. I was like, okay, why is the villain tell him to come back in time?
I remember Rory starting to turn...
He is starting to turn good somehow. I don't know.
His heart grew 10 times bigger that day.
Let's talk about where season 2 is going to bring us. Okay? Let's talk about Rip. You know who Rip's father is?
No, because I don't believe they explained it.
They did. Not at all. You gotta know Rip as a character to understand
Okay.
who his father is. His father is Booster Gold.
Okay.
So you could see Booster Gold in season 2. If they're gonna add this character, because they want to add this character in the Cedar Universe Summers, Legends of Tomorrow is a place to add him. Because he is a time-traveling superhero, I guess you want to call him.
Mm-hmm.
For me, he's not really much of a superhero.
Yep.
He's more of a glory hound than anything.
True.
But I think they're going to see more Justice Society of America members coming in. You're gonna. I want to see Booster Gold in this though. I really do.
Mm.
For a villain, I'm not sure what they're gonna do. I heard they're not done with Vandal Savage yet.
Could be a possibility. My thing is, character I think's going to be seen is Jay Garrett from Flash. At the end of Flash, we find out Jay Garrett, who's not Zoom just stole his name, is the Jay Garrett that wears the metal helmet with the wings on it and stuff like that. He's also a member of the Justice Society of America.
Yep.
And one of my character from, let's go back to Young Justice, the animation, Dr. Fate is also a member. So maybe we'll see that version of Dr. Fate from the animation series come into a live action.
Whew, that's a good one.
So
You could bring back a lot of people.
because you got to realize the JSA is actually formed, I believe, before the Justice League.
Yeah.
So because you see a lot of old school heroes. So
Of course.
it's gonna go to high places here.
Same amount of episodes, more episodes, less episodes.
I see it being more. I see it.
More?
I see it joining that 20 to 25 episodes like Arrow, Flash, and Supergirl.
Well, let's talk about this right here, because CW loves doing this, is their famous crossover episodes. Do you think we're going to see any crossover episodes in Legends of Tomorrow?
Producers have
Or future of the crossovers?
producers have already said we are going to see crossover episodes. They want to do a crossover episode because the schedule is going to be Supergirl on Monday, Flash on Tuesday, Arrow Wednesday, Legends Thursday.
Okay.
They want to do a 4-part crossover.
Yes, I heard about
that's
this.
going to stretch the whole week. That is going to be exciting because other companies have done that, like CBS. They had 3 different CSIs. They did 3 crossover episodes where characters kept going to different shows in that one
Do you
week.
think it's a good idea or do you think it's too much?
I think it's an amazing idea.
You don't think it's going to be too much?
Fans love crossover episodes. I didn't care for
No
really.
offense, for me, stupid fans love crossover episodes. The smart fans, I'm not sure how they feel.
Well,
It could
let's
be too
just
much.
say-
I mean, that means you're going to have one villain that goes through all 4 shows.
Well, let's just say the Flash episode crossing over to Supergirl. There's a lot of big name fans who love the comics and all that stuff. Loved this episode. So.
I just don't see them taking, like, Captain Boomerang and having him be the villain for all 4 episodes, you know? I just don't know if it'd be too much. And right now, Arrow's kind of on a thin line right now. We'll talk about it a little later. We'll talk about it there. But Legends Tomorrow, we go to there.
I'm good.
All right, let's go to my favorite show, your favorite show, everybody's favorite show, The Flash. Out of all 3 shows, The Flash had the greatest season finale episode.
Oh, there was so much that happened in this. Let basically start off. Zoom demands a race with Barry.
Yep.
What a weird offer from a villain. I don't want to kill you right now. I just want to race you. But you learn why he wants to race him.
Yeah.
Because he's got this device that if him and Zoom race at the same time, enough speed force is generated and he can destroy all the multiverse Earths, everything, except that one, and he'll be numero uno
Yeah.
on that one Earth. The thing I like is they trap Barry in one of those little cells where it's kind of like Barry really is not using his head. Barry, to me, in the animations and stuff, he's very cocky, but in this TV series, he's very smart. He knows, look, this is what I need to do. This is
Well, keep in mind,
he's not doing stupid things.
Keep in mind, you have Barry Allen without a mask, and you have The Flash. 2 different personas he's playing. So Barry Allen without a mask, he is a very serious guy. He takes his job serious, he takes his life serious. When he puts that mask on, that gives him a chance to kind of be a child and get to have fun with his life.
I understand. What I'm getting at, though, is throughout the season, even as Flash, we see him using his head. He is so ticked off after Zoom killing his father
In front of him.
that he's not thinking things clearly.
Well, would you?
No, but what I'm getting at is it was almost smart for them to lock up Flash like they did, Flash's team,
Yeah.
and they went after Zoom, and it nearly worked, but Zoom pulls Joe into Earth 2.
Yeah.
What was great is Wally releasing Barry without anyone knowing, because now you're getting that Wally West and Barry Allen connection that I think people are going to want to start seeing soon when they're introducing
Yeah.
Kid Flash. Goes rescue Joe. Joe comes back with Zoom, all that stuff. They have their race, and you mentioned it. Barry made a time remnant, they call
Yes.
it. It really was the only way to save everybody.
Yeah.
Knocks Zoom out through the race. The time remnant sacrifices himself to destroy the device, which the time remnant's going to die anyways.
Yeah.
Because we then see Barry was smart making that because the time wraiths come after Zoom because they would have come after his time remnant.
Yeah.
If it hadn't died, and that was really neat how they, because what they remind me of is a crypt keeper kind of like what's the guy death basically.
Reminds me of a Dementor from Harry Potter.
Yeah, I mean, when they grab him, he literally the life sucks out of Zoom,
Yep.
and he just becomes a skeleton basically.
Well, here's what's cool about that scene. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you don't know this because the comic knowledge that you have in me is different.
yeah.
That actually introduced another character by him doing that.
Okay.
It introduced the Black Flash. So you could see him as a villain in the next season. Mm-hmm. The Black Flash, which is going to introduce another speedster to the Force. Mm-hmm. You know, so that could happen. I kind of hope that happens. Black Flash is kind of cool.
I have to say, because we keep saying this was a huge episode, you kind of get the woo moment because we finally get to see Barry and Iris share that little pet kind of.
Yeah.
A lot of fans, I think, were excited to finally see that. Everyone's been waiting for that. But where it ends, it's again, he's not using. Yeah, his dad's dead. He beat Zoom, but he's not
dead.
Well, what I'm getting at is he's not using his head. He's thinking, me.
Yeah.
I want my parents back, and he does the one thing that he wasn't supposed to do in season 1. He wants to save his mother. He knows he can't because that other flash that was there, which was awesome at the end of season 1, when he had the 2 flashes at his mother's house, telling him, no, stop, because it's going to change things. He does a whole 360, saves her at the end, and that flash disappears because there won't be a flash anymore because he changed things.
Right.
From where it goes from there, how you say you think you're going to see like the black flash, the dark flash, I see it being Reverse Flash coming back as the villain for season 3.
Let's talk about season 3 because I'm not sure. Everyone already says it everywhere. Mm-hmm. Flashpoint paradox.
Exactly.
Everywhere. For me, I've been watching the CW shows long enough to understand that might be way too obvious for them to go that direction. Mm-hmm. That's why it probably is going to be that direction because they could introduce a lot more cool characters for season 3. But I kind of hope they don't. It's too obvious. Mm-hmm. Way too obvious for that, isn't it? What you think? I mean, how many times have you been like, "Oh, I'm calling this," and then it's actually going to be that?
It's hard to say though because they made it almost seem like that's what it's going to be. That's why I said I think he saved his mother, so now Reverse Flash is still stuck there in that time.
Yeah,
something's going to happen, and Eddie's going to come back because now he won't be dead because that time hasn't. It's kind of all.
I mean, doing that changes not just the Flash. It changes Arrow, and it's going to change Legends of Tomorrow.
Maybe that 4-way crossover. They come and take him back to a different time where he doesn't save his mother. I mean...
See, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you have a guy like Andy on the show as a co-host. He comes up with those amazing ideas like that. That's probably exactly what it's going to be.
It's a gift.
It's... You wear that gift well, sir. That's probably exactly what that 4-way episode is going to be.
Well, it's like you want to...
Because
like I said, it's setting up for Flashpoint Paradox, but then you want maybe it not to set up for it because you want to be surprised. I mean, I was surprised when we found out in this season that who Zoom was. It was like, what? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, who knows? We have to wait till October.
Yeah.
Wait for the fall.
Because, I mean, and also, you mentioned earlier, I wanted to touch upon the Man in the Iron Mask with Jay Garrick. We didn't touch up on what Earth he was from. Earth 3. Mm-hmm. So now we have 3 Earths to play with. Do you think Supergirl is going to be from Earth 3?
Could be, because what makes that crossover episode with Flash and Supergirl was when he shows up, he says, I'm the Flash. Who? You never heard of the Flash, Green Arrow, Black Canary? No. But the problem is, they could change it where her Earth could still have all those superheroes. Because you got to remember, in the first season of Supergirl, she's just barely becoming Supergirl. Mm-hmm. You might not know that there's other superheroes out there.
Right.
So, But then I thought it might seem kind of weird she doesn't know when she works for Cat Grant. I mean, she would know about all these other things.
Start off early with the crossover episodes.
We'll see. It's an exciting time.
It is. It's an exciting time when we can just sit at home and watch these comic characters come to life.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. What's Arrow or you think that's?
Let's jump to Arrow.
All right. One of my favorite shows. Many fans felt this episode was very disappointing. What was your thoughts?
I enjoyed it, actually. The battle scene with him and Damien Dark was really hardcore, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's neat because you get with this, it's always Arrow, Arrow, Arrow. But actually, it was Oliver Queen that saved the city, not Green Arrow. Because when everyone's freaking out with the missile crisis, when all the missiles get launched, it's Oliver that jumps on a car and rallies Star City. And because of that rally, everyone believes then in the Green Arrow to beat Damien Dark, and he can then, with their hope, his powers generate to nullify dark powers.
So you didn't think that scene was a little corny?
No.
You didn't think you saw that scene before?
No, where did I see it before?
I mean, season 2, Deathstroke. The whole city attacking Deathstroke and the crew.
Yes,
Now we see it again, the whole city attacking Damien Dark and his crew. It's
but
like,
where I'm saying it's different is that was Arrow getting all the people.
Right.
It's different when it's Oliver. When you're talking about Barry and the Flash being two different people, it's the same thing then with Oliver and Arrow. And when Oliver, who's just a regular guy, can rally the entire city, that's saying something, where then at the end they make him the interim mayor.
Yeah.
The biggest thing with this episode, I thought, was the end. Because the Ghosts and Damien Dark, of course, we see they destroyed the Arrow base, I like to call it. At the end, you have Captain Lance and Felicity's mom leaving Star City.
Yep.
There's a member of Team Arrow gone with Lance. Obviously, Laurel's dead. We already knew that. Then you've got Thea deciding to step down as Speedy. So there's another lost member. And Diggle leaving to go back to the army. All that's
Didn't
left.
this episode kind of feel like a series finale?
It almost
rather than
did.
A season
It
finale?
almost did, because all you have is it kind of pans out to Oliver and Felicity having to rebuild Team Arrow. Which, though, sets up, yeah, we say it seems like a series finale, but you mentioned it 2 early, days before when we were talking about this, sets up to bring Roy Harper back, and you called it, and hopefully, and we'll probably see it. He's not going to come back as Speedy, he'll come back as Arsenal.
Yeah.
So there's that. Maybe we see something with Black Canary again. I don't think Laurel, like, she's dead, but I think somehow she's going to come back.
You gonna bring her back?
I think so. Again, crossover episodes, Legends of Tomorrow, even though it might not actually happen because Rip even told Sarah why he dropped her off a week later in 2016.
Yeah.
Because she can't save Laurel. She's dead.
They probably just took her out of the show altogether.
Yeah, but for some reason I think something's going to happen. It's Black Canary. That's a main Arrow character.
Main characters die.
True.
They could just leave it.
True, but...
That gives you a chance to add in a character.
Well, we did see, though, that young girl take Black Canary's uniform and stuff, so maybe we'll see her come back.
I know I've heard a lot of talk of Vixen joining the Legends of Tomorrow team. So, I mean, who knows? They could take other characters and add them into Arrow team.
True.
Obviously, you're going to see Diggle come back. I don't think he's gone forever.
It's funny, everyone dropped the whole Diggle Green Lantern thing all of a sudden.
This right here could be the lead up to that.
Could.
It could be.
It would be neat. It's just no one's talked about it anymore. That's the problem.
That's kind of good.
Do you have a suspect who you think's the next villain? I mean, we've seen a lot of villains. I mean, this is going into season 5.
For Arrow, I don't. That's what I love about the series. They pull from the bottom of the pot and they take out. I never expected to see Damien Dark in this at all.
I'm wondering.
I heard Deathstroke's come back.
This is where you can clap for me. in an episode of Legends of Tomorrow when they're stuck in the 1950s and Sarah goes back to the League of Assassins.
Yep.
Remember, in Arrow, she has this relationship with Ra's al Ghul's daughter, what's her name? Nessa. Well, Nessa, from the animations, we know his daughter to be Talia, who has a relationship with Batman.
Well,
And
Talia was brought up in that episode.
yes, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So before that episode aired, everyone's probably thinking, okay, how come they're not naming her Talia instead of Nessa? It's funny because Nessa's not born yet in the 1950s, and Sarah mentions to Ra's and his young daughter, who's Talia there,
Yeah.
take care of your next daughter. And he's like, huh? So maybe we see Talia come into the Arrowverse,
That would be kind of cool.
because I've been waiting for her.
Yeah.
That's where I'm kind of getting into different shows, going into other shows.
The next show is going to be interesting because I want to pick up a lot of points in the next show. You know, I've never seen it. Are you good with Arrow? You know, any other bullet points you want to touch up on?
I'm good.
Because I have no idea who the villain's going to be there.
I'm good. I had to bring that up
They
because
could bring back Deathstroke. They could.
they could, but I had to bring that up because to me, if you're not going to introduce Talia, then why mention her in another episode of another show, kind of?
Yeah.
And Sarah being a big part of Arrow also. So we'll see. And remember, he killed her father.
You know, we could, just on the whim, we could see Sarah coming back as the Black Canary and then Vixen taking her spot on the ship.
True.
We could see that.
But remember, like I said, Oliver killed Ra's.
Yeah.
She might want vengeance. So,
Next one, I've never seen this show. I've heard little bits and pieces of it, of who came onto the show. So why don't you give me a good summary of Supergirl?
well, you got Supergirl. Obviously, we know the backstory of Kara.
I know, yes, I know the backstory of Kara.
Okay. So Superman takes her to live on this farm where she grows up.
In Smallville?
Nope.
Not Smallville.
No, it's somewhere else.
Okay. Is it
so
in Kansas?
I don't remember.
Okay.
So she grows up, all this other stuff. Now she's living in a place called National City. She has a job with Cat Grant from Superman kind of backstory there. Works for Cat Grant as her assistant. One day a plane is going down and she just bursts out and saves it. And that is where she decides she wants to be like her cousin and defend the city. So she becomes Supergirl. She has her allies in Jimmy Olsen, and then another guy,
Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen. He comes from the Daily Planet and gets a job working at Catco. At Cat
So
Grant's.
they did put in the name Metropolis? Or just Daily Planet?
I think just Daily Planet.
Okay.
I'm not sure. It was episode 1, so.
Okay.
So she gets teams up with him, and there's another guy, I forget, but he's the son of a Superman villain, the Toy Master.
Okay.
So, and then her sister Alex, who works for the DEO, which we end up learning is run by John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, which is pretty neat.
So John Jones does what in the show?
He is the leader of the government organization that hunts down aliens.
That's phenomenal.
And because he can change his figure, looks like a regular human being.
Oh, that is
And
good.
they have the backstory why he's this guy, but it's
'Cause you know what John Jones is supposed to do in the comics, right? He's a detective
okay.
in the comics. But the Martian Manhunter being part of a Martian Manhunting team is phenomenal.
So one of the places is called Fort Ross, where the Kryptonians threw all their bad people in. That has now crash landed on Earth with Kara way back when.
Okay.
Kara's aunt and uncle rule Fort Ross, and they're trying to take over Earth. So throughout the series, she's fighting all these big bads that they're sending from Fort Ross. Basically, coming to the end, they use a mind-controlling machine to control everybody. This is where Arrow and Supergirl the storyline connects. How Arrow saved everyone using the town's hope. She kind of gives an inspirational speech, and the mind control ends because her hope
how you
in
put that.
everybody. So I mean,
Arrow one day with hope.
exactly. It basically ends where once they just get everyone out of their mind control. She now has to fight Non, which is her uncle, because her aunt dies in another episode. They have their battle. John Jones goes out with her because he ends up showing the Martian Manhunter side of him, which is awesome. And he fights Indigo, which Indigo is a descendant of the Brainiac clan. So that's neat. They tie in Brainiac. It ends with Kara and Non fighting. They have a heat vision battle. And she just right through him.
That's lame.
She heat visions him. Jean rips Indigo apart.
Okay.
It was an awesome scene. She has to now fly Fort Ross out of Earth's atmosphere and throws it in the sun to destroy it. The best part is a space pod resembling Kara's comes crashing down at the end of the series
Okay.
into National City. She rips it open and just it ends with this shocked look on her face. So there's someone in there that she knows.
Think it's Connor?
We don't know. I don't think so. I think it's her mother. I think her mother got off Krypton somehow. Because I think it's someone she has to know from the backstory of the show.
Now, I know Connor is really a copycat of Superman. You know, he's not a real boy. But it wouldn't put it past me if the CW turned him into a real Kryptonian and
because
added him to the show.
It has to be someone from Krypton because it was a Kryptonian pod.
Right.
With Kara's aunt, what the whole backstory is, her aunt and her mother are twins, so the same actress got to play the same part. So that's why I think this actress is probably coming back now as Kara's mother, maybe somehow getting off the planet. Who knows? It was heartbreaking to know that CW was probably not CW, CBS was probably canceling the show because they left it on this huge cliffhanger right at the end. So now
Probably not why they were canceling the show because of cliffhanger.
No,
they're
but
canceling because
what I'm getting
viewers.
at is it was upsetting. You leave the show on a cliffhanger, and now it's probably going to get canceled. And thank God CW picked the show up, and it will be airing Mondays in October on CW, because now we get to see who that is. Producers have also stated that because there's 2 episodes where Superman shows up, or 3 episodes actually, 2 or 3, you never see his face. You just see a body, kind of, flying by or walking by. They are introducing Superman.
Superman walking by.
Well, because he gets mind controlled, so he's walking with all the people.
Okay.
Because Kryptonians can't get mind controlled by this because it's a Kryptonian device. But the backstory is they say because Clark has been on Earth so much, his mind is developed like a human being's. It's weird, I know. But you never see the face of Superman. But producers have said they are introducing Superman as a reoccurring character, so we will get an actual actor to play it.
Which is fantastic.
Which hints maybe Tom Welling comes back to play.
No.
Clark
Don't
Kent.
jump. You're jumping the gun.
I'm just saying.
It doesn't hint anything.
That is the one everyone wants.
The only thing it hints is that Superman is coming to the small screen. That's what it hints. Now, the articles and blasting up is that there's 4 people up for the part.
Seriously,
of
do you
Superman.
do you
But,
really?
Hold on. But as a CW fan myself and the rest of America, we all grew up with Smallville, all loved Smallville, all loved the way Tom Welling looked as Superman.
True.
So, we all want to see him come back as Superman. That's what we want to see. So having the hint of him coming back is not really there. The hint is that Superman is coming to the small screen.
I'm sorry.
And Superman's be done right.
90% sure it's going to be Tom Welling.
Well, man, Matt Bomber is in the part too.
I don't care. I'm sorry.
I don't want it. I like that guy. I really do. But my money goes with Tom Welling.
You have to say, if they didn't cast Tom Welling, wouldn't you be upset? I would.
I would be really upset.
And a lot of people would. Because it makes sense to put Tom Welling as Superman with a CW show.
It only makes sense because he's done the part for so long. But now let's look at the storyline, though. How does Smallville mix in with this universe? When we already saw Kara in Smallville already. So we have to think about that too. If we do add Tom Welling to the show, how are we going to write it so it makes sense?
True.
I could see that maybe Tom Welling's Superman maybe jumped universes.
They could set it where, because when he rescues Kara when her pod crashes, he's already full-on adult Superman. That's when he's handing her off to this family. You could put it where Smallville... Oh, no, because Kara is about the same age as Clark in Smallville.
Yeah. So it would have to be multiverse. Mm-hmm. That's the only way you could explain Tom Welling being in this universe.
True.
Is multiverse.
Yep. I was going to say they could set Smallville in, like, the 1980s kind of thing.
Because, Cat Grant was in Smallville too. All these characters are already in there, so it would have to be a different universe to add Tom Welling.
True, and that's where
So that's where he may not get the part, because it would just be too crazy. Mm-hmm. So if he does get the part, I want to see Matt Bauman get the part.
But again, that's where the whole four-way crossover can happen.
Yeah.
Like I said, when Flash went to Supergirl's universe, there were no other superheroes. So maybe Smallville is in Flash's Earth.
Well, there's already a Flash in Smallville.
It can go anywhere.
There's already a Flash. There's already a Green Arrow. There's already those characters, so it would have to be a different universe.
With Dr. Dolittle. Your Aquaman.
Yeah, he was in it too, yeah.
Nope.
Like or not, I mean, even the Cyborg showed up in there.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I forgot about Cyborg.
So you'd have to have it as a different universe to put Tom Welling in.
But that's where DC can do whatever they want, because you have, compared to Marvel, with DC, you can really write your own storyline.
Flash opened up the universe. That one show opened up the entire universe, CW, to do all this cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. True.
What else about Supergirl you want to talk about? What do you want to say?
Oh,
Season 2. What are we seeing?
I think it's going to all evolve around who's in that pod. That's the thing. Is it Connor, like you thought maybe? Or is it her mother who...
Would it make any sense if it's her mother?
No, not really.
Not really?
No, because I think her mother... Because the whole backstory with Kara is she's trapped in space when the planet exploded.
Now, how big's this pod? Is it like a baby pod or is it like an adult-sized pod?
It's same. All the pods are the same size.
So could it hold a adult human?
Yes, it could.
But if it's not?
True, could be.
Because you said she threw something to the sun, right, and it blew up?
Yeah, Fort Ross. Fort Ross isn't like the little mirror planet thing like in the Superman movies that Zod is trapped in. Fort Ross is just a prison base.
Yeah.
And what happened was it was just suspended out in space. When Krypton exploded, and it has like the after effect, that pushing, it pushed Kara's pod off course, and her pod was just kind of floating for years and years next to Fort Ross. And then eventually they kind of got into Earth's gravitational pull, and
Yeah, so many people it could be a lot of people in that pod.
Yeah, I do know they'll also explain more because Dean Cain, who played Superman in Lois and Clark, he's in this show too. He's the father of the family that Superman brings Kara to.
Oh, that's awesome.
His backstory is he died on a mission, and come to find out he's not dead. So I know they're looking for him too. So it could be pushed to that.
Mm-hmm. One last question I heard. Was Red Tornado in the show at all?
Yes, he was.
He was.
Yes, he's a villain.
Red Tornado is a villain.
He's a villain. The army makes Red Tornado to fight Kara, and she beats the crap out of it. And after that, it just becomes like suicidal, I guess. And he keeps getting better and better, and he all of a sudden can beat her. And then something happened where she beat him, and he went flying off somewheres, and we haven't seen him ever since.
Fascinating.
So
hopefully CW some good stuff with Supergirl in the future.
I'm excited. Like, I hate that it's in the fall because then winter's right around the corner, but the fall TV shows are just out of this world, out of this multiverse.
Out of this multiverse.
So, yeah.
Well, that's it for the CW shows.
That's it. If
Can we handle any more shows?
I don't. They have one extra day in the week.
Especially what they're doing. Attach them all together in one universe. That's a lot of creative writing in those writing rooms right now.
True. I mean, I wish we had more time. We could talk about this all day, but
We could.
unfortunately,
I had more stuff I want to talk about.
maybe not on the next show.
Unfortunately, not right now.
Exactly. So, like always, everyone out there, we thank you for watching this episode and every one of our other episodes. I know we're nearing 50 episodes, so that's a goal for us. So, thank you for watching. Remember, you can watch this episode and every other episode on our Facebook page, our YouTube page, and don't forget, you can follow this man over here on Twitter every day at KrillinMan. Don't forget, Vermont Comic-Con's coming up in a couple months. We'll be there. We hope to see you all there. And remember, everyone out there in Nerdland, to stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy. We need a song at the end, don't we? Stay nerdy.
Well, we have